starting this course on career counseling, it is extremely important to understand why you should take your career choice seriously. In this video, we will help you understand the importance of making the right career choice for yourself. So, why is your career choice so important? It is important because it determines a lot of things in your life, including number 1, quality of life. Your career choice plays a huge role in deciding where you live, how flexible your life is, and the kinds of things you are able to do in your free time. Number 2, identity. Ask any elder person about their career and they will tell you about it as a part of their identity. They'll say something like, I am a journalist, instead of, I report news. Notice how everybody asks you, what do you want to be when you grow up? And not, what do you want to do when you grow up? This shows that your career choice shapes your identity. Number 3, impact. Every human life touches thousands of other lives in so many different ways. If you select any 60-year-old person who is about to retire, take a time machine, find him as an infant, throw that infant into trash, and then come back to the present day, you'll find that a countless number of things around you have changed. So whatever career you choose, the world will be affected by it. Anything that determines your quality of life, your identity, and the impact that you make should be taken very seriously. And that includes your career choice also. So we hope that this short video could help you understand the importance of making the right career choice. Having done that, we will now move forward to start our career counseling course. We are pretty excited and we hope you are too. So let's begin. See you.
वेलकम एवरीवन, सबको स्वागत है. वेलकम टू डे 45 ऑफ प्रोबोनोज लाइव पॉडकास्ट. आई होप चैट में दिख रहा है मुझे बहुत सारे. सो वेलकम टू ऑल द ऑडियंस मेंबर्स, आदित्य एंड मिस्टर सेन, वेलकम. आई थिंक ऑलरेडी आप देख तो मैं आज का एजेंडा बता देता हूँ. सो टुडे वी डू नॉट हैव ए गेस्ट, लेकिन आई थिंक more than a guest themselves, I think it's something more important that we need to discuss, that Mr. Sen, Aditya and I thought of, was how to stay motivated in life 2.0, or how to stay motivated in your life and specifically your career in the coming times, जहाँ पे we are facing more and more challenges, जहाँ पे when we talk about these soft skills, like how to make yourself relevant in both the post-COVID life and also machine era. So how to keep yourself relevant, we're going to discuss about that. So I think Mr. Sen or Aditya, who wants to give the context आज के लिए? Now I introduce the topic. Who wants to give more context?
Namaskar, good evening. So I think let Aditya go first. So Aditya, go first.
Thank you so much, Mr. Sen. Namaskar, good evening. Thank you all so much for coming and welcome to the 45th episode of Pro Bono's Daily Life Career Guidance Podcast. So आज का टॉपिक, जैसा कि सामंत ने बताया, is motivation. और motivation is a very dodgy word right now, because अभी ऐसा टाइम चल रहा है कि बहुत लोगों को उनकी नौकरियों से sabbatical लेने को बोला गया है, an unpaid sabbatical at that. Many people have been asked to leave their jobs, or many people have been laid off in technical terms, if we were to say, and many people's salaries have been cut, and by a huge margin, especially the people at the top management level. How to stay motivated in these times? And this is more than an expert advice, because especially from me, I think it is more of a discussion that is going to be there. And I think Mr. Sen is more qualified to give expert advice. So the expert advice part I'll leave upon him. I'll be interacting with the audience, and I would love to know your opinions, because I think there are some places where even I need help. So one such problem, and please do let me know in the comment section if you are also facing this. I think there's a lot of work, right? We are so many people in a team, and this happens with every company. I think ours is still an early stage startup, but when it comes to bigger companies, there are teams sized at 50, 100, 2000. Everyone is at home with their logistical issues. किसी का इंटरनेट कभी खराब हो जाता है, किसी का लैपटॉप कभी खराब हो जाता है, and we are also facing the same. कभी कभी जैसे कि कल आपने देखा मेरे घर के नीचे बैंड बजना शुरू हो गया था, तो ये सब घर पे ही प्रॉब्लम्स आती है जो ऑफिस पे नहीं आती. Management is a pretty difficult job. So are you facing an issue where you are facing, kind of this challenge of work life balance? क्योंकि मेरे एंड पे क्या हो रहा है, it's a lot of work. Maybe I'm not getting enough time for myself, and I'm working towards that. The good part is that I'm really enjoying my work, and I'm really enjoying the fact that I am still managing to get some work to help the students out, because that's what our job at Pro Bono is. So I'm really enjoying my work, but maybe I'm not getting enough time out for myself as a person. So ये मेरा challenge मैं face कर रहा हूँ. Do let us know your challenges in the comment section. And my formula to stay motivated, especially at work, because I think that's where I'm really motivated, is कि I always look forward to the opportunity ahead, and I always think about the situation people have presented us with, or the situation that nature has presented us with. In this case, the nature. So हम कैसे इस situation का best use कर सकते हैं? We cannot control COVID, right? I'm not a doctor. I'm not a security personnel. But what can I control? Since I'm in education, I can distribute hope through education. And I think that is why we started this podcast. If even a few people are getting hope through this podcast, I'll be very happy to know. And yeah, so my formula for staying optimistic is that, whatever is in my hand, I'll try my best to do. And that is what we are doing. I think, we are finding solutions to all these small issues. We are trying to reach out to rural area students as much as possible through as many mediums as possible. So that can be telephonic service, that can be internet. So we are hosting YouTube lives, we are using Facebook lives. So yeah, that's my formula to stay optimistic. But yeah, I think a better description can be given by the expert here, Mr. Sen. Over to you.
Mr. Sen, before just a sec, sorry, so sorry. So guys, पहले like we said, ये discussion है. We are trying to discuss what could be the problems and how to face them. Solution ढूंढने तो बैठे नहीं है अभी कोई भी. 1 घंटे के अंदर 40 minutes के अंदर हम तो solution निकाल नहीं सकते. लेकिन what we can do is share our problems, share the kind of things that demotivate us, and maybe we find that we are not so alone in our problems. Maybe if we find that there are so many people that face the same situation, and just stay together as we are doing now, staying together through isolation. Okay, so sorry, back to you, Mr. Singh.
Oh, good. Thank you, Saman. Thank you, Aditya. That's great. Now, I think the question is, how do we stay motivated? How do we get motivated? उसका क्या magic formula क्या है? What is the magic formula of staying motivated? Because you see, we have so many things going on at the same time, and we have a problem about how to stay focused, how to stay motivated. So, Aditya, do you have any idea of how to stay motivated?
Yes, Mr. Sen. So I always look at my work as my outlet to reach out to people, to fulfill my purpose in life, to advance the evolution, if you can say that. So obviously I do it in my own very limited way, but yes, I do look at it as something which is of benefit to the people. So I just don't look at it as something which I can earn a bit of money out of. So अगर मेरे काम में मेरा थोड़ा सा इनकम घट गया है या कम हो गया है, या if it has been affected even in a negative way, that frankly does not affect me that much. I think that is one thing which has helped us a lot to stay motivated, to do a lot of stuff even in this time of lockdown. And I really look at my work as something which is of benefit, of social impact. So we have continued to work, and we have found out outlets. So as soon as this lockdown was introduced, this podcast we thought of starting, and at that time, we did not even know that it will go on to the 45th consecutive day. Similarly, one more thing, so regarding the entrepreneurship project that we are running with ITI students of Haryana. which is in collaboration with Udyam Learning Foundation. A huge shout out to them. So regarding that also, we were thinking of implementing it on the ground. But when it did not happen, we did not get demotivated. We started discussing how we can do it online. A lot of thoughts came in regarding कि यार ये शायद से बच्चे उतना डेटा पैक रखते ही ना हो कि वो आ पाए हमारे तक, online. But we always thought of the different mediums we can use. So it was always a solution oriented approach. We never really sat down and started cribbing कि यार ये कोरोना हो गया, अब हमारा फाइनेंशियल्स कम हो गया, बहुत सारे फंड्स रुक गए, हमारे प्रोजेक्ट्स कैंसिल हो गए या पोस्टपोन हो गए, अब हम क्या करें. उसका हम पर मतलब हमारा उस पर कोई कंट्रोल ही नहीं था. We did not have any control over that. COVID happened not because of us, so now we cannot do anything. The only thing we can do is positively react to situations. And that is my formula for being motivated, that in work I always believe in positively reacting to situations rather than cribbing about the bad situations which happen. I do get angry sometimes when my internet does not act properly, but yeah, my anger is very short lived. Mostly Samant knows, we always keep consoling each other. Samant also has a very similar temper problem like me, so जब भी stream खराब जाता है, anything bad happens, he's like मैं laptop तोड़ दूंगा. So I'm like, Samant कोई बात नहीं, ऐसे नहीं करते. Then after that my laptop presents some issue to me, then I am like मैं अपना laptop तोड़ दूंगा. Samant says to me, देखो आदित्य, remember what you said. So we keep consoling each other in this way, and the formula is to, obviously we as humans and especially as young kids have our emotions, and we are not perfect in any sense. But the good part is that we are with each other, we are standing with each other in the tough times, and more importantly, we are standing with our users, our customers in tough times, and we are trying our level best to support them. This is what I believe is staying optimistic and not cribbing too much about किस project या किस outreach से हमारे कितना पैसा आएगा. पैसा आएगा. I'm not saying कि पैसा नहीं चाहिए, but right now I think we also have to empathize with people. सबका economy रुका है, so we need to also keep that in mind, and we need to maybe lower the price of our offerings a bit, which we have done also to an extent. And I think everyone needs to do that, not us, because the economies have literally stopped. And if we can just support each other by offering things for free or for lesser price, and that's why I think this podcast is totally free for all of you. So yeah,
That's
my
good.
formula, Mr. Sen. What's yours?
That's good. You talked about many things out there, and we will touch upon each of them. What about you, Samant? Very quickly, and while you're at it, you can also say hello to the audience and see who has come in and wish them all, welcome them to the show.
Great. We actually have a few people. Or Anita ji, I think she already has commented something. Firstly, Anita ji, Pushkar Das, and Mr. Rajagopalan Rangarajan. Hello, sir. Welcome back to the stream. Anita ji ka comment hai, so let me read it out. Whenever I see in past and think of future, I always feel bad because I feel that nothing will be same. No outing, dine out, fun and freedom. But from getting escape from this, I always try to be in present by reading, listening and meditation. And Pushkar Das's comment is, मैं आऊँगा तो पैसे आएगा.
Okay, that's good. So what do you think about motivation? Very quickly. Then after that, we'll go exploring.
So motivation, I think it's, I guess, the greatest tool. If you look at it historically, the greatest tool of making someone do something. Now, you ask exactly motivation, what is that?
That is good.
What is that thing which you desire most? I think let's not touch upon that. We'll keep it PG-13 for now. But coming back to me, I guess, how do I motivate myself? Like Aditya said, how he motivates himself. मेरा approach बहुत ही like unconventional or extremely, I would say hardcore. Just listen to it, use it as a proxy. Do not absolutely apply it directly. So what I try to do is I take a completely cynical approach, absolutely completely cynical approach, where if I feel like I'm at 10%, I kick myself down to -10 or -20%. I kick myself even down key. You couldn't even do that. You should feel like you're crap. You should feel like you're obsolete. You should feel like you're useless. And from that feeling where you feel like you've completely given up hope, where you feel like you know, this just it. You might as well give up now. In that situation where where you face failure, वहाँ पे motivation शुरू होता है. And then from that point on, you can actually go upward. Like they say, once you hit rock bottom, there's no way to go even further down. The only way is up. So I try to kick myself even further down, so that the only way to go is up, and I try to try to prove myself wrong in a way that I'm not useless. I'm better than this.
Brilliant.
And try not to, like I said, try not to apply the same principle, because like I said, does not apply for everyone. It's just the thing that works for me.
Lovely. So now, having heard that, why don't we take a tour? Let's go on a journey. Let's go on a holiday. Let's go to the Arctic. You know the Arctic, North Pole. So you must be wondering what is there and what has Arctic and North Pole got to do with motivation. So how do we spell Arctic? Someone, one of you.
ARCTIC.
Excellent. So ARCTIC. So what we'll do is we'll explore each of those letters and we'll come up with a package of motivation. How does that sound? Sounds good? Guys, good to
amazing.
go?
Yeah,
Yeah,
great.
absolutely.
I'm
Looking
trying to
forward.
use sign language instead of turning on my mic.
I hope the audience like this journey that we're going to take. So, so Arctic starts with the letter A. And Arctic is a very cold place. And you're wondering how the hell Arctic is going to figure in motivation. So let's start. A. What we always do is we do a lot of work, we study, we do so many things. And doing all that, we achieve something. So there is a sense of achievement. That's the A. Now, how do we achieve something? When we accomplish a certain task, or we meet or we do better than a goal that has been set, or we do something better than what has been done in the past. So we accomplish something. And achievement also happens when there's a certain amount of competition. So when we beat our own performance, like before, like, we walk 1 kilometer in 10 minutes. Tomorrow we walk 1 kilometer in 9.5 minutes. It's a competition with myself and ourselves. When we do that, we have a sense of achievement. Would you sort of resonate with what I said?
Yeah, absolutely. We're doing something you thought was not possible. There you go.
So achievement is made up of two things, which is accomplishment and competition. Aditya, what do you think?
Yeah, I'm listening on. I want to listen to the whole thing first, because generally what happens is Arctic is a very cold place, and we really want something warm, something to warm us. So I'm really looking forward to what does R stand for and what does C stand for. Then how does it complete my motivation journey? But yeah, till now it sounds really interesting.
With Delhi mein 35 degrees plus, I think we need a little bit of cold something.
I am in 40, so it's okay. But all of us in our lives, when we have accomplished something, when we have done better than what we did before, when we did better than whatever the goal was, we all felt good. I think that's a fact that we can all agree to. And when there is a competition, when we did better than what we did before, and remember what I'm saying. I'm saying we did better than what we did before. Not I did better than Mr. A or Mr. B. I am comparing myself with myself. So I'm saying that last time in mathematics, I got 30. This time around, I got 40. So that's an achievement. So when I compete with myself and I do better than what I did before, that's an achievement.
And that's a very nice way to describe, I think, that because what we tend to look at as an achievement is when we are a best in some field, or when some external validation happens. I think Obviously external validation is important to an extent, but we also are the best. So there's a saying that, you know, you are the best judge of yourself. So if you know that you have done something and it is better than a version of you yesterday, I think that's a good progress step that you have taken. So it does not need to be always validated by somebody external. And if you keep working on yourself, I also feel that someday it will be validated externally. And audience also, do let me know what you feel about this in the comment section. Yes, Mr. Sen, do you resonate with this?
That's a very good point. And that takes me to the R. That very point that Aditya said takes me to the R. So what does R stand for? So we have achieved something. We have accomplished and we have competed with ourselves and done better. And Aditya talked about that we need somebody to look at us and say something. So R is about relations. So what we need to do, or what we need for ourselves as a human being, and as for any animal or plant or any living being, we need an approval. That means we need to be appreciated. We need to be recognized by others. As simple as just a smile, that's an approval. Showing a thumbs up sign is another recognition that, oh, you've done a good job. You can talk to a plant. It's a fact of life. You can talk to your pets. They also need approval. You pet your dog or your cat or whatever you have at home. What that does is it brings in a sense of belonging. That means we all, as living beings, we have a need to feel that we are part of a certain bigger group and we are accepted by that bigger group. So, you know, in a class, in school, or in the college, or even at work, sometimes, you know, you're left out of a certain group or a team. You feel very bad, you feel demotivated, you feel depressed. Because you always want to belong. You want to belong to a team, you belong to a group. You want to be recognized and you want to be accepted. So that is relations. And that is what the R stands for. What do you guys think about that?
Mr. Sen, I have one very small anecdote
Go
regarding
ahead. Make my day.
relations and what you said about, you know, it could start with something as simple as a smile.
Yeah.
So
Go ahead, make our day. Saman, that's all yours.
yeah, so this was back in school, and like I said before, I don't know if I mentioned it on the stream, but I studied in like 6 to 7 different schools in 12 years. So to say the very least, I've been moving a lot, and I've studied in government schools. I've studied in international, the top of the top in the city, and one particular international school. Of course, there are all these IMAs, or what you call them, or the people who work there, or in Bengali, I guess you say babus. No,
Okay.
no, that's not the word.
No, it's not the word.
Sorry, sorry. I think I'm misunderstanding it. Okay, the people who basically, you know, help out with you know, cleaning up the places and for giving you water and whatnot.
And
The housekeeping.
Just 1 second, Saman.
Housekeeping. Yeah, okay, forgot.
So in Bengali, you know, just since you struck that chord, in Bengali, I think it's a very nice relation, you know, we can establish with the relations Mr. Sen talked about. So, you know, you were saying about relations in Bengali. Anybody who works with us, we call them mama, mashi. So, you know, anybody who is you know, working at our house and cleaning the house, we would call them mashi. So mashi means mausi basically in Hindi, you know, your mom's sister basically. So that's how we also establish relationships with the people who are working with us, and not just, you know, have a professional relationship कि ठीक है इनको मेरा house clean करना है, इनको उसके इतने पैसे मिलेंगे. So yeah, please go ahead. So that's one thing I wanted to connect with relations. Yeah.
So the housekeeping, like Mr. Sen said, the housekeeping, they were working at the school, you know, and since it was an international school, all these kids were like rich families. They've been born in money. They spend all their life in money, and they probably, you know, there's a very tiny sense of hierarchy when you look at people who are working in a place you don't want to be in. You know, automatic sense of entitlement aata hai. So what I've seen is these people never talk to the housekeeping or the people that work for them. Yeah, indirectly, of course. But then there was a particular there was a particular female woman, she lady, sorry, lady, yeah. I think she was at around the age of 60 or something, 60, 65, and she was still working, serving the principal's office and whatnot. And all that happened was whenever I used to pass by her, I just smile at her. Recognizing, okay, I acknowledge you. As simple as that. It was like, I acknowledge you. That's why they're very simple smile, and it was like the entire year passed and we were just smiling at each other, recognizing that, okay, I recognize that you are here and you're not forgotten. And
Brilliant.
there's a little bit more to that.
Go ahead.
Yeah, and when I later on, after going out of school, I changed schools again, like I told you. When I did come back to visit, she used to come back and hug me immediately. And now I like I told, as compared to the other students in my school, my classmates even, I never had this sense where, okay, you're from a lower class society, no touching, or no, I don't have that kind of mentality. She came and hugged me, and I addressed her as mother, Amma, in Telugu. And I think she didn't cry, but I think you could see the teary happiness in her eyes. And having never spoken to each other, and then one day I visit the school and she hugs me, and then we actually have a conversation. Even before visiting my friends, meeting my friends, or saying hi to the principal or the management, I went and met her, and she was all overwhelmed with joy. So I think there's that one millisecond of just smile at someone and acknowledge that they exist.
Brilliant.
Yeah.
This acknowledgement is very important, I think, because I really could connect that to a lot of things. So firstly, as I said, in Bengali we call them mashi, in Telugu you call them amma, which is mom, right? So how we establish a relationship with them in the literal sense, with anyone who works with us, with anyone who works for us in the society. And secondly, how you acknowledge each other's efforts. So I will also have a small story to share, and then I'll again want to know what the CTI and C stands for in Arctic. We already know the A stands for accomplishment and the R stands for
Achievement.
relation.
A stands for achievement, of which achievement is equal to accomplishment plus competition.
Great. So now we have a formula also. A stands for achievement, and achievement is equal to accomplishment plus competition, right, Mr. Singh?
Correct.
Great. So with relations, I think I also have a small story to share, and it is about, so I obviously said in the beginning that you have to be intrinsically motivated, and the achievement needs to be intrinsically driven initially. That, I made progress as compared to last day. I did better than what I could have yesterday. So I'm improving every day. That can be the intrinsic motivation behind the achievement. That is the A. Now, our relations, I can also kind of compare it with external validation, because in my entrepreneurial journey, many a times I would feel demotivated initially, especially when I did not have money, and when everyone around me was earning decent amount of money because they had joined their respective jobs. And it is these friends again, whom you have good relations with, my parents, my mom especially, who motivated me a lot at these times. That we have seen you do really well. We have Yeah. So we have seen you do really well, and we really believe in you. You'll do really good. So I think that also kept my intrinsic motivation very high. So yeah, that's one story I had to share. Now over to Mr. Sain to know what CTI and C are, and would lastly want to urge the audience to also share their stories.
So great. So we have started the journey. We are getting closer to the Arctic Circle, perhaps crossing it, getting closer to the cold region. We did the achievement, which we said we accomplished something and we compete better than before. We talked about relationships, which we said is acknowledgement or an approval, and plus a sense of belonging. So now we come to C. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put the C and the T together. Okay. So because C and T together will give us conceptual thinking. Got that? So now we're going to explore what C and T does. I mean, we sort of got into the fourth gear at this point, and did two together. So conceptual thinking, C and T, of ARCT, we're there. So what does conceptual thinking mean? It basically means two things. It means being able to solve a problem. That means whenever there's a problem, we, instead of running away, hiding, we confront the problem and we seek, create answers, solutions. Even when solutions are not there, if we can come up with a unique way of tackling that problem and solving it, we feel good. The second part of that is, how do we coordinate? How do we work in a team? So when we're doing a critical problem solving through a conceptual thinking, it has two parts. A conceptual thinking does not mean doing it by yourself. It's talking about confronting a problem and coming up with solutions or answers to it, and coordinating with other people around, bringing them together, integrating them into your team, and together solving the problem. How does that sound?
That sounds amazing, Mr. Sen. And I would like to ask you one question. So when you say conceptual thinking, does it relate very well with adaptability or, flexibly making yourself ready for the new situation at hand? Does it sound similar?
Okay. So basically, we talked about first part of conceptual thinking is problem solving. So what we do is, whenever we have a problem, we have 3 or 4 responses to it. If you're not matured enough, we'll try to run away from the problem, we'll hide it. Number 2, we'll sort of say, no, the problem doesn't exist. We deny that a problem will exist. And we say, no, it's not a problem. Life is great. We go forward. We may even, become a small baby, throw our legs and arms in the air and start crying. And it happens. And we can definitely confront the problem, try to understand what is the problem, and come up with a certain process in trying to find a solution. So that would be, when you have a problem, and coming back to what you asked me. So as we get out of whatever situation we are in, it's typically a problem, right? Now, to solve that, we need to bring in other people together, otherwise it doesn't get solved. I mean, I can walk out of the door and go to somewhere I want to go and see a movie. Doesn't happen because there are other players in the game. So I have to go buy a movie ticket. The movie has to be screened. First of all, the movie has to be produced. So somebody has to act, somebody has to be writing the script, and somebody has to be shooting it. It has to be released. So many things are there. So it's a teamwork that happens. So what I think I'll just suggest something to you. We start solving a problem by discovering. So we go around and we start discovering. So we take an assessment of where we are, what we're going to face. And we come up with options of how we can face it. The moment we do that, we move to the second D. So discover is the first D. The second D is we need to decide that we have 3, 4, 5 options in front of us, which one we want to take. At that point, we don't know that decision is going to be right or wrong. Doesn't matter. You still need to go ahead. So the moment you do a decision, you take a decision and you say that I'm going to go down this road, or whatever it may be, you then need to sit down and design. So you have to start designing the solution. Like we all do. There are many ways of designing it. We can start off with a blank sheet of paper and we can draw a certain thing, or we can make a plan depending on how we want to do it. When we are designing it, when we are deciding it, we bring in all the others that we can possibly bring, and we get into it together. So we have other perspectives and other views of what the discovery, and then we make a design of the solution. Having designed the solution, we develop and implement it. So whatever be the solution, we develop it according to the design and implement it. There are going to be mistakes, there are going to be gaps. So we keep going back and we do an iterative process. So if there's a gap, we go back to discover, or we go back to a decision, change it, tune it, adapt it. And there is no harm in changing a decision. But there is an underlying devil out there in all of this. And that devil goes by the name, and that's the fifth D, I think. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, fifth D. That devil's name is doubt. There is always a certain amount of doubt that we have when we are solving a problem. It's good to have that doubt because it makes you more conscious about what you're going to do. But you should not allow the doubt to overrule everything else. So that's my take on what you're saying is, what do we do in future? Yeah, it's a problem. We need to get people on board to solve it, follow the 4 Ds and have the 5th D there. But, so the doubt will be, if I go out, will I get COVID-19? That's a doubt that's always going to be there. Recognize it, embrace it, love it, make friends with it, and then beat that doubt together.
Mr. Sen, to add on, problem solving, I'll pick up on that alone. Specifically, I just had something to add. Problem solving, when you say, how do you approach a problem? Like when you think of something, how do you approach a problem? Okay, like how do you even do it? When you say, I guess in a way you can't really put it into words. How the method of actually approaching a problem. But then the process, what actually happens is you look past in your experiences.
Yeah,
have I faced a problem that is even remotely similar to this?
Brilliant.
And
That's the discovery phase. So
right.
you discover what you've gone through.
Right. And you try to find patterns.
Yep.
And your brain tries to find comfort in the relatability of it.
Yep.
And, and what you try to do is, I'm not going to repeat what you said, of course, but then what I'll try to say is, would you pick up a person with 3 PhDs and has been focusing all his life on those 3 PhDs, or would you take a 50-year-old, I don't know, garbage truck man?
I'll answer that. Someone. It reminds me of that movie, Thor. It's one of the Thor movies. And Banner has got 7 PhDs and he's supposed to fly a spaceship.
Right, Thor Ragnarok.
Yeah. Banner says, I don't know how to fly the spaceship. So Thor tells him, you've got 7 PhDs. You can figure out, use one of them. So it's that.
Right. So, when a person who has experienced things, even though he faces failure, his failure is rooted in knowing more about the world in general, not specific to what his degree or, what his formal education is related to. So I would say, I'm not going to say that the garbage truck man who experienced more life is better, but I would say, as a suggestion to everybody, एक बार lockdown हट जाए, try more things. How do you gain more experience? You do more things. How do you do more things? You just experiment and do those things. ऐसा नहीं है, time नहीं है, you're just trying to comfort yourself with excuses. But time थोड़ा मिल जाएगा definitely, and try to do more things.
Brilliant. Great. I just want to say something. Samarth. It's fantastic what you said on that conceptual thinking. There's only one thing. There is no such thing as a failure. That thing doesn't exist. That's a very artificial term that has been invented by some people. And it's passing an opinion on someone, which I don't think any one of us are qualified to do. So failure, the word does not exist.
Okay, for the sake of the argument and for the lack of a better word, I'll you know, maybe
But I think,
yeah.
failure as a term, I do agree with Mr. Sen to the extent that failure has a negative connotation to it, or it has been taught to us in a manner कि fail हो गए मतलब कुछ गलत हुआ. So I think it's more about the thinking in our mind regarding the word कि अगर आप failure हो रहा है, आप सोच रहे हो कुछ गलत हुआ, then that is a problem. Failure, obviously, उससे सीख के आगे बढ़ना है. You don't have to be celebrating failure कि yes, I have failed. That's, I think, too romanticized these days कि you should be celebrating failure. But I also feel that failure should be accepted. I'm not saying that celebrate it, but please do accept it. I think there is this amazing thing, and before coming to that, I would really like to appreciate Saman's amazing insight regarding experimentation. बहुत जरूरी है इस time पे. This is something which was unpredictable, and for things that are unpredictable, you don't plan in advance, right? And once you have not planned in advance, the only thing you can do is adapt, and that's why I asked that question regarding conceptual thinking to Mr. Sen कि क्या इसमें adaptation जरूरी है? Is adaptation necessary? And I definitely feel it is. So please adapt, please experiment, and we'll come to that in situation basis also, because right now we are discussing theory, right? Once we finish discussing that, we'll definitely come to stories, like how this theory can be used in stories. So yeah, so what I was talking about is regarding failure. Definitely do accept it, because there's this amazing thing I've heard and which I follow to the T till date. कि struggle किसी को exclusive नहीं होता. And this I heard in an interview which Ravish Kumar, the TV journalist, was giving to Kunal Kamra. Even though I'm not very much, big fan of Kunal Kamra, but this thing I really associate myself with. I've seen, every person faces some sort of successes and some sort of struggles in their life overall. And it's never a happy ending. This is one thing I've learned from my life also. कि ऐसा नहीं है कि struggle, 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 success, then life is over. Never happens that way. Struggle, success, failure, success, a host of failures, then again a host of successes, and this is life. Ups and downs. So खत्म तब तक नहीं होता जब तक आप मर नहीं जाते. और जब तक मरते नहीं हो तब तक फेलियर सक्सेस दोनों रहेगी. तो सबसे पहली बात, अगर फेलियर आई तो गुड इंडिकेशन आप जिंदा हो. इसीलिए फेलियर आया. एंड सेकेंडली, I think it will definitely teach you something so that the next success will be even bigger than the last success you achieved. And I would really love to know Mr. Sen's thoughts on this.
Oh, very
Mr.
simple.
Sen, going back to what Aditya said, failure is not a bad thing. Like I said, जैसा मैंने अपना experience बताया, how do I motivate myself? I make myself feel as a failure, and I use that as a motivation to do better.
Okay. Can I put all of that? And the last point you made is very, very, very relevant. So I'll just put all of that into what we have discussed so far today. So instead of saying we have failed or it's a failure or I am a failure, let's go back to the A. And let us say that I could not accomplish it. I could not accomplish the goal that was there. Let us say that I was not competitive enough to be better than myself of what I was yesterday or the day before. So let us look at failure through the lens of achievement, accomplishment plus competition. And then you have a total new connotation of the word failure. So you decide, not somebody else from outside. So you decide whether you have failed or not, whether you have achieved, accomplished something, whether you have competed with yourself like you should have, whether you have beaten yourself, whether you have achieved your goal and accomplished your goal. If you can do that, then failure is not in the dictionary anymore. How about that? You like it? Aditya, you like that?
Yes, Mr. Sen, I definitely do. And it's all about keeping an open mind, I think. So accepting whatever we have, and as I think we also talked about experimentation. So experimentation also brings a lot of failure. The lesser you experiment, obviously the lesser failure you face. So, and the lesser you experiment, the lesser you're aiming for, because you know what you'll achieve and you're not trying to push for more. So if you push for more, you're failing. That means you're pushing for more good news.
Yeah.
Isn't it, Mr.
So
Singh?
so if you in your lives stop, simply stop using the word fail and failure, then we'll have the same discussion after some time. And then you'll tell me what are the changes that you have seen in your life.
What's a word we can use for it? Is it learning?
No,
An
you see, I
opportunity to
could not
learn?
achieve it. I could not compete it. So I keep on trying. As simple as that. It didn't happen, so fine. I know what's my goal. I set it. I know what I did yesterday. I know that. So I know what are my parameters against what I am competing and I'm working towards. You don't need anybody from outside to tell you. Try to do that and see what happens. Let's move on to the I. The I stands for improvement. So what does improvement mean? And we talked about exploration. Both of you talked about exploration. So improvement is a combination of growing. That means we have to grow as a person, just not the results, but as a person as well. So every time we don't achieve something or we don't compete well with ourselves, we grow as a person because we learn something new. We learn something new and we apply it. And we grow. So it's just not about the results, it's about the person ourselves, how we grow. And exploring means exactly that, exploration. And we are getting very close to the North Pole now. And we are moving into something called the unknown territory. So exploration means having the courage to go into an unknown territory, something that is not known about. And we talked about this. Aditya, you talked about it. Samant, you talked about it. So basically, when we do exploration, we are moving into an unknown territory, something we don't know anything about. It's then when we now see the whole thing works together. So when we grow as a person, or we are into an exploration state, getting into an unknown territory, there if we discover something, then it goes back to A. That means we have accomplished something. So the exploration feeds your achievement. So it's not like written linearly. You have to write it in a circle, and like then you join the words and the letters like a spider's web. So it's basically, exploration can go and hit your achievement. So the growth, so improvement is a sense of achievement. And when you improve, you achieve something. That means you're better than what you were before. You accomplish something. And then there's a relation about that. You need an approval. Somebody should tell you that, yeah, you've grown. Okay, you were 6 feet yesterday, you're 6'2" today. That's still growth, okay? You need an acknowledgement of that. You need to belong. Say, yeah, this guy is good. And improvement is also being able to conceptualize, think through a problem, come up with a solution. That's also, and you talked about it, all of you did, the exploration bit. So you see, all of them are co-joined. So what do you think, guys? Before we hit the North Pole with the last C.
Mr. Sen, I want to read a comment by Rajagopalan, sir.
Okay.
I think he actually puts it in 5 words. I think he pretty much sums up what you said. Improvement requires imagination and imitation.
Yes, and I'll add one more, a little bit of courage.
There you go. Improvement requires imagination, imitation, and just a tad bit of courage.
See, the problem is we don't want to imagine or we don't want to imitate because we are scared. If you can list down your greatest fear, and then face it, you're done, you're made. That's success.
And like I said, Mr. Sen, our brain tries to find comfort in the situation we are in right now. And when we try to imagine something that we are not, or something beyond our current state of existence, that is unfamiliar, and there's fear in the unknown, as goes in everything. And I think if you apply that just a tad bit of courage to see that, okay, don't fear, let's just see what it is. There we go.
Absolutely. It's all up here. It's all up here. Imagination is up here. We have forgotten how to imagine. Imitation is role modeling. So we role model ourselves with what someone did. And we talked about the other day, a couple of days back, when you talked about the idols and the role models, remember? And courage. We are scared. We are all scared. Like it or not, we are. I am. I can tell you that much. The quicker we put down our fear on a piece of paper and look at it and get over it, better we are.
I think,
Shall we hit the last C?
yeah, just one last thing to add to, it's good to be afraid. It's good to have fear.
Fear is a great motivator.
Right.
Fear is a great motivator.
And if you're, I guess, if you're living in fear and you do not have courage or hope, I think that's where things start to go down. I think you always need to have hope and faith in yourself. I'm not saying, not in some random superficial thing, but I think you need to have faith in yourself.
We'll have that discussion another day on faith. Okay,
I don't want to get into that.
Hold that thought. There is a formula for it. Don't worry. Don't worry.
Mr. Sen is the Ramanujan of life skills. So he has a formula for everything in life.
I don't have a formula. Okay. So shall we go to the last C?
Yeah, definitely.
Then we can plant the flag at the North Pole. How about that?
Let's take over Arctic. I mean, okay, we already did.
Yeah. So the C, the C stands for control. Aha, control. What does that mean? I can tell you before I say what it means, it definitely doesn't mean anything that you're thinking of. How about that? Definitely doesn't mean anything that's going through your mind when you.
Okay, I'll take a guess.
Okay, go ahead.
Control means controlling, or rather not controlling, trying your best to have control over the current circumstances by doing what is in your hand rather than trying to control what is not in your hand. Is that anywhere close?
I told you whatever is going through your mind is not what control is.
Mrs. Sen, okay, I'll have a crack at it.
Okay.
Yesterday, I think it was yesterday, we had a very short, we touched upon Stoicism. Stoicism is basically, accepting that outcomes in life are not in your control, and you as a human are just reacting to predetermined or a natural course of things. But when I take control of what I react to, whatever is happening outside of me, control of what I am as a person and not what I have around me. I think control of my emotions, how I react to the natural course of things, that is, as we said, nature.
Okay. I still stay with my first point. Whatever is going through your mind when you hear the word control is not what I'm going to talk about now. So let's keep my promise. Control is a function of, what's a function of? Mathematics. The first one is competence. That means we need to feel competent enough. Then only we can be in control. That means we need to be capable and competent enough to handle anything. If you don't have that personal capability or the competence, you'll never be in control. Control comes from your own learning, which gives rise to the confidence. The second part of the function is control means, now this is going to be very challenging for you to accept. Control means delegation of authority and decision making. Control means delegation of authority and decision making. You can only do a delegation and allow other people to take a decision if you're competent enough and you're capable enough to do so. If you're not competent or capable, you'll never be able to delegate. It's as simple as that. Because you'll be scared. And control means the third ingredient of control is influence. That means the ability to influence other people's opinions and actions. That means you're being able to convince other people to look at a certain problem or a certain situation through the way you are being able to see it. And the way to do that is look at it and capture as much of evidence and remove opinion from it. So if you place hard facts and evidence in front of people, you will be in a better position to influence their opinions. So that is control.
Mr. Sen, before we touch upon that, or before I say anything, I know Aditya has to travel to another city now.
So we don't have time, okay?
No. The thing is, I want to continue to have this conversation for a few more minutes. But Aditya, if you can give your final thoughts and sum up what you think of the final C. So I think if you can speak for a couple of minutes, and then if you want to leave, no, we won't hold it against you.
He's gone.
I think Aditya is already gone. Okay. Yeah. So let me sum up for the audience. Mr. Sen said control is competence plus delegation plus influence. Or am I missing something?
No.
If that is correct.
No. That's right.
Right. So before we discuss anything more, I want to just go through each and everything once more, just for the audience. Aditya ने I think type कर दिया है chat में, but either way for reference I'll go through this again. Architect, A, achievement, which is made up of accomplishment plus competition. R, which is relations. C and T, if you club that together, conceptual thinking. I for improvement, and C for control. And control is made up of competence, delegation, and influence.
And Arctic, when you write Arctic and if you put the underline below it, so you put an underline so it stands out, right? So that underline thing is your own commitment. And that's what we talked about the other day. Remember? I think it was commitment and conviction. The two of them has to go together. You can only be committed if you're convicted that, you are convinced that you can do it.
I don't think anybody wants to be convicted.
Yeah, convinced. Okay, got it.
Right, I'll read a few comments. We've been getting comments. Firstly, Rajagopalan sir says, as we are surrounded by demotivators, remaining calm and waiting for your turn to bounce back while sharpening the axe for what you are expected to deliver is self-motivation.
Absolutely. And that is where, the control influence comes. So when you're surrounded by people who are demotivating, that's where, the trick of influencing the others comes into play. 12 Angry Men, watch it.
Right. अभी तक मुझे time नहीं मिला है. I have it downloaded, but Anita ji says we should take it as an experimental approach because nobody knows what's going to happen in the next moment. I think she was referring to what I said about trying out new stuff in life.
Correct.
You know,
Correct.
getting
And-
those new experiences in.
And we talked about exploration when we are doing the problem solving.
I think ever since Mr. Sen entered the podcast, I think this was like from day 11 or day 12 onwards. The one underlying concept has been exploration and wandering, and there's nothing more to add. It just explore and wander.
That's what life is all about.
There you go. And Rajagopalan sir said commitment. I think he was trying to guess the final control.
No, that's the underline. You know,
Yeah.
that's putting the underline. Yeah, that's conviction and commitment.
Yeah, there we go. Mrs. Sen, actually, I was going to guess what C referred to, and I was going with celebration for some reason
You could.
instead of control.
Your celebration is part of your relation. So when you get an approval, you need to celebrate. When you belong to a team, a group of people, you celebrate.
Right. Excuse me. Right, and the one thing I would say, you know, that I really want to touch upon and maybe talk for a few more minutes. Obviously, maybe just 5 minutes more.
Go ahead.
Improvement.
Yep.
Improvement again. Relations I don't want to touch upon, the reason being I think we talked about that and the importance of it. I don't think we need to go back to that again, but improvement is one, you know, extremely important thing in this day and age, I feel, because like I said again, our brain actively tries to sort out to comfort. It always goes to, okay, what's comfortable for me? Okay, lemon tea isn't available, was the next best thing that I will feel good for. It always tries to settle in somewhere. But then I think improvement comes from struggle, and improvement comes from pushing yourself beyond the comfort zone and beyond what you think you're capable of. And the brain doesn't like that. नहीं होगा भाई, तू रहने दे. But I think again goes back to courage. If you have that little bit of courage and faith in yourself, and
You need imagination as well.
and imagination, again, everything comes in a circle.
Yeah, that's what I said. It's a circle. You got to arrange it in a circle,
Right.
and then you draw a spider web. So you join all of them with each other.
Right, and I think improvement, the people I've seen, or the very limited people I've interacted with, they're in a certain job, XYZ job. Are they happy? Probably yes. I'm not going to hold it against them that, you know, entrepreneurship or struggle is the only way to discover life. But then there is improvement in what you do as well. There's improvement in each and every part of life. But then the most important question is, are you sorting it out? Are you, you know, are you running after improvement? Or are you actually running after a more salary, or are you running after improvement as a person, as a professional?
I think that's very important because improvement, if you don't improve, you don't grow. That means you don't grow as a person. I mean, even if you get more money, right? You get more money. That's a growth. That's a growth because money, it doesn't mean anything if you don't utilize the money to do something. So the definition of money in economics is money is what money does. So money is what money does. So if you don't make use of money to do what it can do, then it's pointless having money.
I think
And you need to learn how to make use of money. If you don't know how to make use of money, you'll not make money. It's as simple as that.
And money, the basic you know, belief that I have is money is a tool that gives you access to stuff.
Of course.
That's it. Money just enables you to learn more things. If you do not have money, you can still learn things, but money only enables you to learn a few more things than what you couldn't have.
So you grow.
So you learn, you earn money, and then you learn even more.
So you're growing.
There you go. There you grow and you become you try to be a good person or a great person,
You're
as
still
Pragya said it.
growing. You're still growing.
Still
You're
growing, still
improving.
growing. Anita ji said, I'm running after learning what is life.
I can tell her, give me 30 seconds.
The mic is all yours.
Okay, life, L-I-F-E. L stands for lifelong learning. I stands for impact. So what impact we have on other people, society, community. F stands for being fit, fitness, physical fitness, mental fitness, emotional fitness, spiritual fitness. E stands for having empathy, means being able to see things from another person's point of view or angle or perspective. That is life.
Again, there are some things that you have to realize that they don't need your take on that. Just leave it as it is. As some movies, they don't need a sequel. Just leave them as they are.
That is life. That's it. Full stop.
Yeah. And I think on that note, I guess it's a good note to end on. I think Aditya is listening from the background. He's in the shadows. But either way, I think that's a very good note to end on. And my personal message would be keep learning, keep improving,
Keep growing.
keep growing, and try to find struggle. I don't know. Try to find yourself in a place where you're struggling, because struggle leads to life.
Accomplishment. Struggle leads to accomplishment and competition.
Right. Okay. All the nouns and adjectives, everything you want to, everything leads from life. So with that, I think यही पे end करते हैं आज का. And I think it was a fantastic conversation.
Thank you, folks. Thank you. I hope everybody enjoyed it the way I did.
And I think sometimes, as much as we enjoy, bringing in guests and then trying to hear their story, but then I think it's important once a while to have these conversations in life. जहाँ पे where you just, भाई रुक जाओ, बैठ जाओ, बात करते हैं. And I think we somewhat try to touch upon a little bit on that, and I'm really happy to be a part of it. Thank you, Mr. Sen. Aditya, I know you can listen, so thank you, Aditya. Rajagopalan sir, Anita ji, and then Pushkar Das, Shikha ji, and then who else is there? Yep, everyone, and all the people watching from the shadows. Thank you so much for joining us. Take care, stay safe, stay indoors. We'll see you tomorrow at 6 p.m. with another guest. Until then, like and follow our page, turn on post notifications to get notified when we do go live. With that, take care now. Bye-bye. See you tomorrow.